Hi, I'm glad you're here with us today to join Mahina and Nahiku and myself to start to be talking about vocabulary. Vocabulary is a big word that we throw around throughout our education, and I'd rather talk about meaning. What words do in our brain to help us to have a vision of what that word is, to repeat that word ourselves. So in this session, we're going to go beyond the pattern of syllables, and we're going to play with words in a way that takes us to a subject that very often is very disturbing. So let's first look at our circle of literacy. This literacy circle that you've been following along with this episode began with phonemic awareness and we experimented and practiced the sounds and the symbols of our alphabet. We're looking at words. We've been practicing throughout our book the task of syllabication, and we've touched on little units of meaning, which are called morphemes. Those fixes or words, either by themselves to have meaning or not by themselves. For instance, there is a morpheme that is S-I-G-N, and the word is sign. We call that a base word because along with sign, I can add an AGE to it in my museum and have signage. I can also sign my name and have a signature. That means that that is a base word. It can stand all by itself, and it can have things added to the beginning as a prefix or at the end as a suffix. But there are other words that are parts of words that have meaning, but they are called roots. And most of our roots in the English language derive from English, Anglo-Saxon words, some French, and then we incorporate many different languages to make morphology. For instance, a root word might be cred, C-R-E-D. Sitting alone, it has no meaning because it's not a word. But when you implement it in the middle of another word like credit, oh, I have a credit card, then I know I can believe that even though I don't have any kala in my hand, it's there for credit. And could it be incredible? I don't believe it. Cred, to believe. It's a root that can be added to at the beginning or at the end. Now, I have some credentials that make me feel really good about giving you this series. So let's investigate, as we look through the literacy circle, just how vocabulary, morphology, and a thing called figurative language. To figure out what figurative language means is to really step outside the box and think how words are put together to have strange meanings. Hopefully, we'll experience that with this session. As we learn about how words are used, either literally, just like they mean, or figuratively, kind of strange, we're going to be able to use those words. And here's where we're going. If you see this, that G-R-A-M-M-A-R word, I think there's a lot of teachers out there, they don't really want to talk about it too much. It's called grammar. So I'm not even going to call it grammar today. You're going to join us in discovering a different way to figure out what the 8 parts of speech are. So let's begin with Nahiku and Mahina playing with a word. So I'm going to ask Nahiku to begin by taking out her whiteboard and to write a very, very simple word for you, the audience. Well, hi. We have changed positions, and now I'm the guide, and Nahiku and I are working together. So, Nahiku, would you please write the word tack? Repeat.
Tack. T-A-C-K. Tack.
And in your opinion, what word does that remind you of?
I've never quite used it or heard it frequently.
Yeah. Have you ever heard it in a position talking about someone's clothing?
Yes.
How so?
Your clothes are tacky.
Tacky clothes. Well, some people wear tacky clothes a lot, and some people buy tacky clothes. I am going to put this shape down. What shape is that?
A rectangle.
And it's clear.
Yes.
I'm just going to ask you to make a line right here to the left of the clear rectangle. That's tacky clothes. Do you know any other meanings for the word tack?
No.
Have you ever used them?
Like a
Like,
pin for a wall.
yes. A tack is another word for a pin. Exactly right. And I am now going to give you this shape that's blue to make another column. And that means that it's the tack. Could you make a little picture of a tack right underneath there? That's right. Kind of looks like my rusty tack that I put there. And can you make me a little piece of tacky clothing right there, just so I...
What are tacky clothes?
Oh, tacky clothes. Do you
Like
think
khakis?
tacky, khaki rhyme, but tacky clothes might be clothes with a lot of rips in them?
Oh.
But they're stylish also. Depending on what generation you come from, some people think tacky clothes are stylish. And what are you making there?
Ripped jeans.
Okay. I'm from the generation that might be tacky. You're from the generation that it might be quite attractive. No matter, we like them. I like the way your distinctive features are drawn to show the rips. Thank you. Let's move on. What else can tack be, this very simple word?
Attack?
To attack someone? Very good, because it has that sound in it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And might you touch someone if you attack them? Yes. I'm going to ask you to make another line, and we're going to put an attack over here. So make your line between the red triangle and the blue rectangle. And give me some kind of a visual with stick figures to show someone or something being attacked. It could be an animal. Quickly. Stick figures work great. When you're doing distinctive figures or distinctive drawings, we do not need fancy people. We just need stick figures to get the point across. I got it. I got that point. The person on the left is attacking the person on the right. Let's continue with this word tack. What else do you know? Do you like football?
I tagged.
That's tag. Sorry.
Tag.
And g
tag.
and k are related.
Tag. No, I don't quite know what this is.
So if it's not flag football, what kind of football is it?
Tackle. There's tack. Tack.
Tackle football. What happens if you play tackle football?
You get concussions.
And you can get stuck and get attacked and you can be touched. So tackle is a kind of football. Can you give me a distinctive feature drawing here quickly? And I'm going to put it in the clear rectangles. Oh, there's the goalpost. And remember, this is not drawing for beauty. This is drawing for distinctive features. And stick people work fine. All right.
Like he's falling.
He's falling. He probably got hit from behind. You got to put that other person in there to prove it's tackle football. And that's all we need. Very good. What else is tack? It's amazing how many words you can have.
Flag tack? I don't know.
No, but you reminded me of something. Do you ever sail a ship or
I've
a
never
boat?
been on a boat besides on a river once.
Okay, so I've been on a boat. I've tried to steer a boat. I can't steer a boat, but you know they have those sails? If you're a boat captain, you can go with the wind, and when the wind isn't behind you to make your sails puff out, you have to tack, same word, to the other side so that the wind comes behind your sail. Well, how could you draw that for me? You have to tack. And so I would like it in the column with the red triangle. So show me a sailboat that has its sail out. And the wind, show me the wind. And that's fine. So that tells me that something is happening when that ship or boat has to tack. Okay? All right, let's look at tack again. Think. You've tacked something on a wall. And Mahina is off camera or adjacent with us.
Do you have any words with tack in it? Our guests in the back, do they have any tack words? Please.
Fishing tackle?
Tackle? Yes. What do you do with fishing tackle?
Are they weights?
They're weights, and is something supposed to be connected to it?
fishy liner?
Yeah, they're supposed to grab it and connect to it. Where would I put fishing tackle? I would put it in the column with something that I can touch. So would you make me your own idea quickly of a stick little, I think they come at the end of the, they
Are
have a-
tackles the weights or the little teeny weight?
I think
Tackle is all of it.
it's all of it.
Hooks, the weights,
Yeah.
the floaters, it's all
Mhm.
tackle away. It's a tackle box that holds all your,
Yeah.
Everything that you use for fishing that isn't a pole is tackle.
Okay.
because it's all to catch the fish.
Yeah, everything that you use for fishing is called
Except the pole.
except the
And
pole.
reel.
And there they are, the tackles. Very good. Well, how interesting that somebody said when they're fishing, because I have a friend who loves horses. And she's always putting on the horse the tack. And it is, anything that goes on a horse is tack. Just like anything that goes in fishing is tackle. So, could you draw that for me? What do you put on a horse if you want to go riding?
A saddle.
A saddle?
Can I brush the horse?
You could brush him.
A
Even
blanket.
A blanket. Those are all parts of things that you put on horses. So could you make me a stick figure horse with a saddle on and maybe a bridle? Or the reins that you hold the horse with? Good luck.
Boy, Miss Elizabeth, got some tall orders over there.
And fortunately, she's not afraid to draw.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just a little scared of horses.
Okay? And stay away from horses and
Yeah.
their tacks.
Stay away from the horse, period. I'm gonna draw a horse head.
What's the distinctive features? Yep, 4 legs. And you gotta have fun. What does one horse have that would make me not call that a dog? What's that hairy stuff that's on the end?
A mane.
A mane. Okay, now I know it's a horse. And put a bridle and saddle on him. We got tack.
A blanket.
Yep.
And bareback. A
Right.
blanket and bareback.
Miss Elizabeth,
Yes.
tactile.
Ah,
Would that
tactile.
be, even though there's
Yes.
no shape?
Tactile is what we do when we work on our triangle. So tactile is the ability or an idea of something that you can touch. If you can touch it, you well here
Sounds like tiles.
sounds like tiles. Tactile is an idea of something that you can touch. You may put a tile here because you can, and as long as you can show me touch. The tactile teacher was constantly touching things.
Some students are tactile learners, meaning that they learn best when they are able to manipulate things, touch things.
So, how do they do it? By touching it. Tactile learners. That's tactile. Now, show me a learner who is a stick figure who's touching something. As we've been touching letters and sounds. Ah, a very tactile activity Oh, I like your perspective very much.
He has huge arms. He was born like that.
For writing. So now let's look at these funny looking shapes. If we remember, I talked about the word that nobody likes called grammar. Well, I could tell you the fancy word for this. This column over here is something that can be answered by the question, what did you do? In your first picture, what did you do?
Attack someone.
Is that an action?
Yes.
Okay, in the second picture, what did the sail do?
Turn wind directions.
Is it an action?
Yes.
Yes. If they're actions, I have one more action for you. What am I going to do on that wall with a nail?
Hammer it.
But I'm going to use this word.
I'm going to tack it in.
You're going to tack it in. Could you make me a quick picture of a hammer? Here's her handle. The artist. And remember, we're drawing for distinctive features only. So what's the most important part of this object?
Its use.
Its use. What does it do? Very nice. Okay. And what does this object do?
Burst things through walls.
But instead of hammer, we're using the word
Tack.
It can tack things on. Is this an action?
Yes.
Yes. So show it to me so I see the action on your picture. Just put your end on it and have a nail so we know the action is happening. All right, very good. Thank you. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 items that have the word tack in them. What do they all do?
They have action.
That's it. Now if I turn this around this way, I have even a better clue that these are called, could you write above this? V-E-R-B. And repeat. V,
V
E,
E R D
B.
B.
What's that word?
Verb.
All of those actions are verbs. Okay? Let's look at what's underneath the rectangle. What is that?
Tack.
Is that an item? Can I touch it? Yes. What is this one?
Tackle.
Can I touch it?
Yes.
It is a thing. What is this one?
Attack.
And the tack in reference to a horse means what?
Anything on it?
Yes.
You can
Is it
put
a
on
thing? Can you touch it?
Yes.
Yes. This was
Tactiles.
tactiles,
Oh.
as in chips or something you can touch. Is it a thing?
Yes.
Now, would you write above the blue rectangle 4 letters, N-O-U-N?
N-O-U-N. Noun.
What does this tell you about all those words?
A thing and an idea.
That's right. They're things and ideas. Exactly right. Now let's go over here. Notice this shape, okay? What did you put here?
Tacky clothes.
Okay, and is it telling me what kind of clothes that is?
It's telling me what kind of thing it is.
Exactly right, very good. And in this picture, what's going on?
Tackle football.
Okay, what kind of football is it?
Tackle.
That's right, you're describing what kind it is. And this picture right here,
Reading.
reading. And what kind of reading is it? Reading work or reading enjoyment?
And reading enjoyment.
Okay, so you're telling me that this person is having reading enjoyment going on in their life. That tells me what kind of enjoyment it is. It's reading enjoyment. What kind of football is this? It's tackle football. What kind of clothing is this? Tacky. I would like you to write a very long word on here. The first two letters are A-D. Repeat.
A.
Circle first for D.
D.
The second part is J-E-C-T.
J. I.
E.
J. E. C.
And the last part is T-I-V-E.
T. I. V. Adjective.
But you can't end the word in. And what's the word?
Adjective.
Yes.
Adjectives.
Yes, it is. Here's a trick about adjectives. Adjectives add information, watch carefully, to nouns. Why are they the same kind of shape? Because they're related.
Connected, yes.
They're connected. Very good. You have just discovered parts of speech, 3 of them. But the one thing that drives those parts of speech is questioning. What question did I ask of all those verbs? What was the question?
What did they do?
What did they do? What is the question that would have been asked for these nouns? What would you ask?
Are they action?
These are actions. What question do you ask about this?
Can you use them?
Can you use it? What is it?
Yes.
What is it? You can touch them. Can you use them? In this, what was the question you asked yourself about clothing?
How does it look? What's
yes.
the meaning?
What kind of clothing? How does it look? This question was about football, but what's the question?
What kind of football?
What kind of football? This is not flag football. This is tackle football. What kind of enjoyment is this person having?
Self-enjoyment reading.
Reading enjoyment. What kind of enjoyment was it?
Reading enjoyment.
Yeah, it's an adjective. These are the ways that you find parts of speech. And fortunately, questioning strategies are extremely important to find parts of speech. Did we talk story?
Yes.
Yes. You have to talk to find how you're going to use words. Because you know what? Up to this time, we've been talking about words by themselves. Now, we're talking about words and what kinds of words are around it? What sentence is it in? That's a whole different kind of understanding for reading. And you have arrived. Okay. So, Nahiku, what do you now know about this very simple word tack?
Tack has many meanings to it.
Yes, it does. Can you tell us what you now know simply?
You have a tack. You can hang posters on a wall. Tackle for fishing, and tacks that you put on horses, or anything you could put on a horse.
And you know that those are all what kind of grammar?
Under nouns
Right.
and grammar.
That's right. Nouns. And what else do you know?
Attacking someone is an action and under verbs.
That's right.
And tacky clothing like ripped jeans would be adjectives.
That's right. And interesting enough, adjectives, add means to give you more information, doesn't it?
Yes.
And if you eject something, it's a Latin root that means to go out. So an adjective adds more meaning to a noun, and that's why they're the same shape. So to conclude this part of our lesson, I have to tell you, your ability to see it, say it, and do it shows me that you can be as sharp as a tack. Thanks. Mahalo for tuning in. You've just experienced another piece of the English language fundamentals. It's as if we're braiding a strong rope. Join us again. Ahui ho.